David Russell here, welcome you to another exciting edition of the Catz Lair. We are pleased to welcome a new guest today, Mr. Abiu Feliz, to today's show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Hey, thank you again for being our featured guest. To our listeners, I'm trying out a little something new. Our featured guest is from, I think, the Chicago area, so I had to put on my Chicago jacket, but don't get it twisted. I am nicknamed sometimes David Banner, so I don't have to bust out the suit and throw a side bicep on him. But we're pleased to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
You're quite welcome. Tell our listeners a little bit how you got started competing in bodybuilding.
Well, I started off in high school, I believe at the age of 16 or so. I didn't, I wasn't always this big. Not that I'm as big as I want to be, but, I was 135 pounds back when I was 16 years old. And I got into, lifting weights and stuff just to pretty much, stay out of trouble. And, I grew up in East Chicago, so, it was either, join a gang or join a positive group, which was a bodybuilding club that I belonged to by the name of BBC. It stood for bodybuilding crew. So we were like kind of the neutral group, kind of helped me, stay, on the righteous path at 16 years old. And after, high school, I kind of, made some different decisions and kind of took me away from bodybuilding. So I took 12 years off from bodybuilding, lived a totally opposite lifestyle than what I live right now. And I didn't get back into bodybuilding until 28, 29 years old. Okay. So at 28, 29 years old, I believe it was 2004, I did my first show. I was able to accelerate very quickly in the amateur ranks and turn pro in 2006, 2 years later, by winning the welterweight class at the NPC Nationals in Miami in 2006 at 163 pounds.
Oh, wow.
That was a long time ago. But, that's how I pretty much got into bodybuilding. And here I am 8 years later, still doing what I love to do. If anything, I even love it even more because you think back at everything that you've been through, and you're still doing, what you love to do. And not only, loving what you do, just having that's the beauty of this sport, whereas there's never an end. It's just constant new goals. And, right now, my goal is to step on that Olympia stage.
Okay. Definitely, most definitely. So tell us some of your mentors.
Yeah. Mose Carter actually came into my life in 2006, right after I went pro. And he just, kind of took me underneath his wing, as a big brother. Ended up being, to this day, he's still my best friend.
Okay.
He is my mentor. He's actually my pastor as well.
That's awesome.
And he's, 6 feet, 270 pounds. So imagine him at the pulpit, not your typical pastor. But, long story short, he just, got, when we became friends, I was, kind of like not in a good state. I had just turned pro, and I had just had that mentality of like, what do I do now? Where do I go from now? And, I just, was down that time. It was helping me lift it back up, and, gave me vision again, gave me passion again. And just began to sow in my life, not just as a trainer helping me, get my body right. He also, sold Christ in my life, where I was able to grow, my soul grow, and I just experienced prosperity in every other area of my life as my soul prospered.
Okay, awesome. And I know we talked a little bit prior to the show. It's always good to have someone supportive in your background, motivates, encourages, inspires you. Who would you consider maybe an additional person who motivates, inspires you as an athlete?
Well, to be quite honest, I have to say some of my clients that I personally train, I've seen them just, not only change physically, but just to be able to see somebody's life just change right before your eyes, not just physically, but to begin to see them like different, being able to prosper in just every area in their lives where you're able to impact people's lives. Man, that is, you know, in itself, it's just so rewarding. And I say rewarding because just watching that happen as the months go by and people's lives change, you know, through where, you know, I got to keep going because, you know, here I am showing in these people's lives, you know, I got to, you know, show an example as well.
Very true.
Very true.
And I even used to think of it as kind of like Quantum Leap, if you recall that show.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of times with the clients that I would train and motivate and encourage, you would have a different story each time. And so it's kind of like every time you help that particular person reach their goal, then you have a new person coming in with a whole different set of challenges, and you may have to approach it a different way.
Absolutely. I can definitely relate to that.
Yes. But all of them were a blessing and made me a better trainer.
Yes. Amen to that.
Yes. Well, what types of projects do you have coming up?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I had took some time off and just got back on stage this year. I did the New York Pro earlier in the year on May 17th. I also did the Chicago Pro in Chicago on July 5th. Didn't place where I wanted to place, but, it was the biggest I've ever been.
Okay.
I weighed in 195, so I still have room to grow. The top of the weight class that I compete at is 212, but, it was a victory. It was I had it felt really good to compete in Chicago because it was really the first time that I was able to compete locally where I'm from. So a lot of my friends came and supported, all the shows that I've been competing at since I began bodybuilding in 2004. They've been out of town, so I've always had to fly out. So it was just really nice to see that support. To be honest, I didn't realize I even had that much support. As soon as I got on stage, I'm hearing all these people, yelling my name, and it's like, praise God, and I'm able to impact people's lives in a way that they want to, come support me. And not only that, it was amazing to see my father in the audience for the very first time in my career. And that in itself, even though I didn't place, I felt like I placed because, I felt like I was, victorious and bringing the best package I brought in my career and being able to see my father's face, during that whole process along with everybody that came to support me. So my plan for, as of now, is pretty much to put on some size. Like I said, I still have a little room to grow. I weigh 195, top of the weight class is 212, and hope to come in bigger and better next year. And ultimately, my goal is to qualify for my dream show, the Olympia.
Fantastic. Well, we definitely want to keep a watchful eye and wish you continued success in your contest journeys. And we definitely appreciate you being our featured guest on the audio as well as the video portion of today's show.
Thank you for having me, David. It's definitely been my pleasure. I'm sure we'll do it again in the future.
That sounds great. All right. Wish you success.
Thanks.
Thank you all for being our continued listeners of the Catz Lair Radio Show. We'll be back soon.